I gotta wait? How long I gotta wait for a press record?
Go.
Welcome to the shed, where Miss Dream always has a story.
It's Dream, and we got a season 2. Your Black Bostonian here, a product of a single mother who I work to make proud every single day. I'm a 3-degree holder, your veteran educator, your tech entrepreneur, and founder of the Chair platform. My platform is dedicated to supporting Black and brown people on their hair journey by creating hair boards, connecting to hairstylists, and sharing haircare tips for a more joyous experience. My podcast is about sharing hair stories, educator stories, entrepreneurship stories, and stories surrounding identity with goals to leave you laughing, learning, and advocating. So come in and listen to the stories in the chair.
Where we share stories in the chair.
Hello, beautiful people. This is Axel Lopez. Axel, can you please introduce yourself?
Absolutely. So, like you said, my name is Axel Lopez, born and raised from Boston, Massachusetts, currently based in Los Angeles, California. Been here for about, I actually talked about this a few days ago with somebody. I didn't realize how long I've been here, but probably around 7 years, which is kind of crazy. Every time I think back on it, I tell people I've been here 4 or 5 years, but then I correct myself. I'm like, no, it's been longer than that. So yeah, I've been here since 2018. Yeah, born and raised in Boston, Massachusetts. Grew up in East Boston my whole life, pretty much. Went to schools in several different neighborhoods and cities and all that stuff. Elementary school, East Boston, middle school, East Boston, but then high school, Cambridge, and then college in Waltham. So, jumping around a little places during my, educational childhood and all that. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. Right now, in Los Angeles, I do multiple different things, to be honest. I own my own video business. Slowly getting back into the photography realm because that's kind of how I started when it came to the visual arts and everything. Also professional dancer, so here and there I will teach dance classes, book different jobs and everything. And I also run a sneaker reselling business, which is something that I've been in and out of, to be honest. I was really heavy into it, probably around late 2020 into 2022. Then work from other stuff just got really busy, so I had to kind of drop that for a little bit. Still had my toes in it, but not as active until just recently. So I've been doing that. And then besides that, I'm just training a lot, like dancing. I work out a lot. I have very lazy days at the same time. So yeah, my schedule is always different day to day and all that stuff. So yeah, I think that's a little spiel about myself.
When it comes to your dancing and your videography, do you feel that your identities play a big part in the type of dance world that you do or the type of dance styles that you love and the video campaigns that you want to work on?
I definitely do think so. I think when it comes to dance, I think my personality, I don't take a lot of things seriously. And I don't know if this is the right way to put it, but I'm not a very emotional person in terms of for instance, contemporary dancers or lyrical or modern stuff. There's a lot of emotion in that, right? If I were to do that type of stuff, I can emote that feeling, but I won't necessarily relate to it, if that makes sense. I can give it off. If something needs to be angry, I can be angry. If something needs to be very serene and calm or anything like that, I can do that. But I feel like sometimes I'm just so engulfed in how to showcase it, and I don't really think about the feeling. And that's kind of how I am sometimes. I feel like I'm not someone who takes things too seriously. I love to just free float and just throw through the motions. And a lot of that is because I'm always kind of just doing something and thinking about something. So I think when I have to, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes when I feel overwhelmed or anything like that, I'm just kind of like, let me just relax. Let me just chill out for a little bit. So I don't take it too I don't think too much into it. When it comes to video, yes, I can also be quite sharp and not aggressive, but stern, firm. I can be like that. And so when it comes to like my videos or just my style of editing or style of filming, I don't know if you've seen some of them, but like I'm very just
Yes, I've seen them.
dramatic.
Yeah, I see him.
I'm quite dramatic with it. So I love that look. I love that feeling. I don't know why, to be honest, but it's just something that really engages me and entices my eyes to just watch it. And so whenever I make something or shoot something or put it together, I always have that feeling in mind because it's my style. So as much as I'm able to adjust to people's requests when it comes to working with clients, I think I always try to make sure in some type of way, like, hey, you're hiring me for a reason. You see my stuff and you enjoy it. So I assume that you appreciate my style of production. So yes, I think in both aspects, my personality definitely shows in different ways. Like different parts of my personality showcase themselves in those two aspects. Yes.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Being able to see yourself and how it transforms depending on where you are when you're behind a camera or you're dancing in front of a mirror. Your identities are showing up in different ways for yourself that you feel is freeing.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like if you can't feel free, like you just mentioned, you're kind of restricting yourself. And obviously to each, like everybody has their own process and just system. So I can't really say like do this or do that, but like once you start feeling that freedom or just like not maybe not relief but just that exhale, it just makes you feel so good. And it makes you feel like you did what you wanted to do, you felt how you wanted to feel. And it definitely feels, like I said, it feels liberating because when you're able to do it, all that not insecurity, but I feel like all that just feeling of doubt for yourself it just goes away because you're comfortable with like how you did something or what you made or what you do. Like it feels great. And I am at a point where I'm confident in like what I can do and what I can produce, what I can talk about. So yeah, it feels great.
Where we share stories in the chair.
Look, it's my commercial. We will be right back.
It's more than just a bad hair day. It's a journey. Finding the right hairstyle isn't easy, nor is finding the right stylist or the right products. Looking in every corner of the web gets messy, overwhelming, and exhausting. All the ads, the articles, the products, the videos, it shouldn't be this hard, but it is. And now, it isn't. The Chair. A black and brown centered platform where you can design hair boards, connect to hairstylists, and share hair care tips for a new, joyful path on your hair journey. Avoid the clutter, save yourself hours, months, and even years of research and poor trial and error. Everything you need and only what you need is in one place. Hair boards made by people like you, for you. Find the right products, the right people, the right answers for you, stress-free. Join the Chair community and make every day a great hair day. When you share your pain, you allow others to help you. And when you share your success, you help others get theirs. Lean on the Chair. We got you. No stress, no strife. In the chair. The chair. The chair. All right.
Where do sneakers come in the process here?
Oh, sneakers have been part of my life For a long time. I have been, I don't know if you remember, like I used to match my clothes in high
Yeah.
school
Yes.
and all that
Yes.
stuff too. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
sneakers, I have always loved shoes since I was a young boy. I'm not one of those like just faking it to you, fake it, all that type of thing. No, I have always loved shoes. I may not be like a huge like OG and like all this stuff, but like I love shoes. Granted, I will say if you're familiar with the sneaker community, there's a lot of like OGs, quote unquote, where they talk about the history and of like the which I do appreciate, but I don't like shoes for that reason. I love shoes because they look dope, and I want that. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of where I'm at. So I if there's a story to it and something that's really cool, fire. That's a bonus because it has a cool message behind it or a cool story behind it. The history behind it is dope, but that's not necessarily why I love certain shoes or why I love just having sneakers, period. So I think subconsciously when I was a kid, I definitely was like, obviously you're attracted to really cool looking things, right? I never thought about like the history. So I remember my first pair of Jordans. I think it was, I think it was a Jordan 17. I don't remember the model, but it was like a suede or like a velvet material with like red hits on the sides, and it had a strap. I forgot what it was. I think it was a 17. Might have been a different model. Anyway, I love those shoes. I love them. They were amazing. And I remember always wanting to rock them, always wanting to just strap them on and just walk outside. As I got older, kind of like the breakdancing or dancing, it totally took a pause. I didn't really I wasn't really involved in it as much. But then towards like high school, maybe middle school, got back into it. But then I got into the reselling aspect of it. So certain shoes were insane. This is a time where like people were camping out for shoes. Nike was sending out a hashtag on Twitter to or a link on Twitter. So you at the time when it was Twitter, so you can just reserve a pair and pick it up over the weekend. There was so many different ways to get a shoes, but it was hard. It was so hard, and if you weren't on it, you're screwed, and you got to pay like insane prices. That's also when resale value was just through the roof. So I got into it again through sneaker reselling. My friend Sebastian was heavy on it too. So he kind of guided me into that aspect of it. And again, I didn't try to make it a business. I just wanted money. Like I just wanted to make extra money. Like I didn't really care about anything else. I didn't know anything business wise or anything like that. And so but then in the sneaker reselling, there were certain shoes that I really liked, and if I wanted it, I was gonna find a way to get it. Whether that meant trading shoes, buying them for resale, or just trying to camp out, which I've done a few times, and I do not ever miss it. And today, when I see people line up not just for shoes, but things like I don't know if you've seen it, like Pop Mart does Labubus or anything like that. There's like these little like gremlin looking things. I saw people like over the weekend at a mall lining up, and I'm like, if I ever caught myself doing that again, I don't know. Like, I camped out plenty of times. It is not worth it in any way, unless you're like the first 5 people. Not worth it.
The chair.
Oh, and if you're interested to learn more about my experiences as a Black woman and educator in Guangzhou, China, I wrote my first ebook titled Nowhere and Everywhere, Capture the Emotions of a Beautifully Broken Love Story. It is on lulu.com. Take a read and see some beautiful photography of mine. Enjoy the rest of the show.
The chair.
Yeah, I got into the reselling aspect of it. I had a lot of shoes that would be considered like grails to a lot of people. Eventually I got rid of them all, and I look back on it, I'm like, why? Like, why did I do that? But then thinking about it 10 years later, those shoes probably wouldn't last anymore because the sole would crumble or something would fall apart. So I'm glad that I can reflect on it and be like, I had some crazy shoes, but at the same time, I'm glad I probably wouldn't be able to wear them today. And then reselling stopped again. I still kind of had shoes here and there, but then come high school, the shoe selection was different. I had certain Jordans, I had some skate shoes and all that stuff, and I was matching my clothes like to the T. Like I had this one combination of like a teal shirt. It was crazy. And then I had like these white, teal and yellow sneakers, and I would wear like my jeans. I look back, I'm like, wow, I really dressed like that. It's crazy. And I'm sure we all have that moment of like, I really wore clothes like that, or I really wore those types of clothes, or I really did my hair like that. It happens. But anyway, then after that, high school, shoes, during college, it was a thing. Like it's always been there. Like I've always loved shoes. During college, I was buying certain shoes here and there. And then I think after college is when that really like I didn't spend any money on shoes. I got rid of a lot of shoes. I didn't do anything until COVID hit again, where the reselling market was absurd. Like people were buying certain Jordans that would be considered today like called bricks, meaning that they don't go for anything. At the time, they would be selling for like, I don't know, retail was like 120. Resale would probably be like $300. And people would buy them with no issue, especially because people were getting like unemployment and stuff like that. So they weren't working, but they were still getting money. So why not spend it on a pair of shoes, you know? So, and a lot of people look down on the resale game. And I'm like, listen, look, I understand the aspect of like you're overpriced, you're price gouging, you're scamming people out of like all these shoes, blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, I understand that. But more time, 8 times, 9 times out of 10, when you go online and try to buy the shoes, you most likely are not going to get the shoes. So your only other option is to go inside of a sneaker store where they're probably going to price it higher than me, or buy it on StockX where you have a price, but then you have to pay for processing fees, for shipping fees, for sales tax, wherever depending you live, and all that stuff. And you got to wait like a week and a half to get your shoes. Where if you buy it from me, I'll give it to you at a decent price and you can have it that day. Like, and I will drive to you with a delivery fee, obviously. But like, there's a lot of logistical things that make sense in my eyes. And so I got back into it during COVID. A lot of it was through like online. So eBay, I would do this thing called consignment, where pretty much you just give it to the store. They'll sell it for you. You can price it at whatever you want. They'll sell it for you. And then once that shoe sells, they take a fee from it, but then you get the rest. So say I bought a shoe for $100. At the time, you could price that thing for like $250. They'll take like a 20% cut, and then you get the rest. So I don't know, 10, 250, 20, they'll take $50, you get $200 out of something you paid for $100 for. So you make $100 profit, right? So then I did local clientele, all that stuff. And so it was big. I was heavy for like a year and a half, just buying every shoe I could and just reselling it. And the market then was crazy. And now then I took about a year and a half hiatus. I didn't completely step back from it because I still had shoes in consignment still. And so whenever a shoe would sell, I'd be like, oh, I forgot I even had that shoe there, which is kind of crazy to say because there's like a couple $100 that I forgot that I even spent. But you know what? I'm not mad at it because I still made money regardless. And now I got back into it. I want to say in late September, early September, maybe. I wanted to get back into. I just didn't have the time to even commit to like managing that type of logistical venture. I think I was okay with just letting pairs sit in a consignment store and just handle it that way. But then, after a certain amount of time, like I was able to space kind of freed up for me, and I really was just able to take it on slowly. I didn't go into it like hardcore. Like a couple $100 I'll put aside to spend on some shoes and just do that. And another big driver to that was one of my friends, his name's Dejan Park. He's not from Boston, but he's from Massachusetts. He lives in New Jersey now, and he kind of got me into the secret game, the reselling portion of it again when COVID. He was like kind of the catalyst to me getting back into it during COVID. He was in the game at the time for like 6 years. He started at like 12, 13. I think he was 19 at the time, 20. So he's young. But he took advantage of the consignment over the last 5 years at the time, and he made so much money. And so he started an online community, kind of just helping other people learn about the consignment field of the sneaker reselling business. And with him, like he already has a lot of connections. His network is pretty great. So once I got incorporated into that, he really, was really cool and just helping people guide people through that network, that community, all that stuff. He started this whole new business model where there are different selling platforms you can sell on. However, it's very tedious and very time consuming. He created a business model where he has a platform where you can list all your shoes on all selling platforms, but it's automated. So all you have to do is buy the shoes, source the shoes wherever you get them from and send them to his warehouse. He does the rest. So he'll stock it into inventory. He will list the shoes. He will ship them out, everything. So you practically don't even have to touch the shoes. So that was a very easy lane for me to do. Like, okay, I can buy the shoes. I don't got to deal with it. I'll just send it to him. And from there, it's been great. And then come January, February, I started to get into the local clientele portion of it. So dealing locally. Now that I freed up some capital more, made a little money with that avenue, I was able to have a little bit more capital to spend here and be able to sell to local clientele. And for the last 3 months, 3 months, I've been slowly rebuilding the sneaker business, and it's been insane. And the difference in like consumerism is, I just didn't realize it until I got back into it. Like, people are not spending $200-300 on shoes anymore like they used to. And also, the game isn't about margins anymore. It's about turnover. It's about volume, right? So if you can make the $500 selling 100 pairs of shoes as opposed to like selling 10 pairs of shoes, I'd rather do the 100, because you're constantly just working, and you're constantly just building the network quicker than if you were to sell those 10 pairs of shoes, right? So the volume game is the move. And for me, that's been great because I get to meet more people. I've gotten to exchange information with different clientele. I've had repeat clients. I just had somebody buy 2 pairs of shoes, and she already asked me for a different color. I had to source it for her, and she's getting that one. And it's cost more, and it's the same shoe, but it's a more scarce, exclusive shoe. So like, you know what I mean? Like, the more I've been able to communicate, to come in contact with people, it's just been like, it's been great. I've been able to build a bigger network, and yeah, the local client, the local portion of it has been great. And people really obviously do not want to spend a lot of money. So when you're able to buy and sell cheap shoes, it's great. So that was a whole story, but it's been a long time coming with the sneaker stuff, and I'm so happy I'm back into it. To be honest, it's a lot of fun. I love shoes, and if I can be involved in it in any way, I will get myself in there.
I'm so glad it brings you so much joy. Axel is talking really intensely with his hands, and when he started talking about resale, it just kept getting higher and higher and higher and higher. This is exciting. This is important. And I think that's really amazing to see how you have done all of these things and continue to do all of these things, really being this entrepreneur in the way that brings you joy, from the dancing to the video production, and now really getting back into sneakers. It's really exciting to watch.
Yeah, I definitely, I think from like a young age, and even more so when I got into Bentley, when I was at Bentley, I knew this. I don't know if this sounds like very just arrogant or anything, but I just knew I was not going to work under somebody. I just knew that I couldn't, because I get involved. I like, my mind, whenever I click onto anything, cling onto anything, or just see something that interests me, I just at least want to try it. And then if I have to at least put forth the effort to see, is this going to stick? Is it not going to stick? Anything like that. And I feel like having that freedom really allows me to just thrive. Like, every day I'm thinking about shoes, video, photo, dancing, music, anything. And if I feel like, and that pushes me, that just continues to push me. And I love it. I love being busy. I don't like being stressed, but I love being busy. So yeah.
Well, thank you, Axel, so much for sitting in the chair and sharing your stories. I truly, truly appreciate it.
Of course, it's been great, and I'm so glad you asked me. It's been so long, and yeah, I honestly didn't think this day would ever happen. Like, I see you on Facebook, plenty. So like, your name is always popping up in some form, and I always think, like I said from the beginning, I always remember Dream. The biggest thing about you is just your personality and your energy. It's always been, I think, a very prominent aspect about you. So I thank you for allowing me to talk with you and just come on here and share with you as well.
Welcome to the chair, where Miss Dream always has a story.
Thank you for listening to an episode of The Chair. I'm going to share with you a dream of mine. I would love to be on Sesame Street. Sesame Street held my hand through childhood. In my dream, I would be in my big afro or rainbow braids sitting on the stoop sharing hair stories. I would like your help, please, by doing all the things like leave a review, share it with someone who would benefit from hearing this episode. And if you know someone who knows someone who knows someone at Sesame Street, share your favorite episode with them, and I'll make you some of my famous chocolatey hot chocolate. I hope you have a beautiful day, or if you are like me, still up in the middle of the night, I hope you take a deep breath and rest. Love you. Talk to you later.
The chair.
Hello. Please leave a message after the tone.
Dream, hello. I just wanted to tell you you're wonderful. I just got through going through your podcast. Love you, love you, love you, love you. Keep it up. Maybe I need to send it to Oprah and Tyler Perry. Love you, baby. You are great.
Where we share stories in the chair.